American adoption agencies have been trafficking children from other countries for decades, and the government of South Korea is finally acknowledging their responsibility in this.
Korea has admitted to fraud and abuse in foreign adoptions for the first time. After a 3-year investigation, the country's Truth and Reconciliation Commission found the government responsible for the mass export of babies to meet a monthly quota set by foreign demand. The commission said adoption agencies shipped children like luggage and recommended the government apologize for violating adoptees' human rights. Last year, I documented Kwon Si's journey as he searched for answers in Korea. His adoption documents falsely designated him as an orphan to make him more adoptable.
So it says I have no parents, which is a lie.
Kwon Si is the son of a Korean mother and a black US soldier. Because he's biracial, he wasn't granted rights as a Korean citizen. So when he was 4 years old, local officials encouraged his mother to give him away.
Well, it's the sickest thing that you can do to a person, of course. Taking away his family, his relatives, his roots.
Since the end of the Korean War in 1953, under military dictatorships, South Korea became the world's largest exporter of babies. More than 200,000 babies were sent to mostly white families in the US and in Europe. Many of the children were sent abroad with the promise of a better life. But being ripped away from his family and homeland affected every aspect of Simon's life.
When I arrived in the Netherlands, I immediately started to pee in my bed almost every night. That took until I was 14 years old. I have a learning disorder. I had huge drugs problem, alcohol problem when I was in my 20s. Looking back, it's one blur.
What about my mother? How many problems did she have? Having a child taken away or forced to do it herself.
Simon's search for his mother has been more difficult because his records have been manipulated and withheld by an adoption agency.
The information we get in our cases is redacted. We receive like 1/3 of the information that there is.
Accountability goes beyond South Korea. Receiving countries like Norway and Denmark have opened investigations into international adoptions. But the US has received the largest number of Korean children and has not budged.
What a shock that the only UN member to not ratify the Convention on the Rights of the Child would not seem to care about the human rights of children who've been trafficked into their country. Countries around the world have stopped sending children to the United States out of fears of danger to the children or human rights violations, and yet the only American politicians talking about adoption seem to be complaining that the Chinese government won't send more adoptable children to the United States. It says so much about American values that we care more about protecting the profits of the multi-billion-dollar adoption industry and maintaining a supply of adoptable children for wealthy white families than we care about the actual human rights of people who have been trafficked into this country.